So this is our internal rotation PAILs, where we're actually working into more of an external rotation position, but we're focusing on actually building up our internal rotation capacity. All right, so from this position, I've done a bit of a setup with my massage table where I've looped a TheraBand or a resistance band around the bottom of my table, up around the top. Right, so I can sit here, have my arm resting up against it, so it's restricting my shoulder from actually moving around in any way other than rotation. All right. Then the resistance band is giving me extra resistance. All right. It's not ideal. PAILs is very hard to train on your own. Typically, it's something that you more so need someone to actually be working through with you, like a therapist. But we'll do our best just to get this to work. So you may need to get a little bit imaginative with how you set up. All right, finding a bench to sit up against, or something where you can anchor a resistance band behind you, or again get onto cable machines and try and position yourself with cable machines, because the continuous resistance is always going to be a little bit better than what the TheraBands are in these sorts of cases, right? Especially because the further we get back, the more resistance we actually want. All right, but we find with the TheraBand we don't get that. The lack of activation that you'll find that you get when you get deeper into rotation will sort of make up for that, so it should be roughly around about the same resistance or the same percentage of activation that you're having to do to actually move the TheraBand. So from this position, we're just going to pull our arm forward. All right, so we're not into our end range of external rotation yet. All right, but we're going to slowly work towards it. All right, so for a start, we're just doing activation going forwards. All right, so just about 30% into internal rotation to hold it there. All right, then we slowly relax until we feel the shoulder get a little bit of tightness in it. So I feel it just there. So then I'll activate again, pulling it just further past where I allowed it to relax back to. Hold it for about 10 seconds, and then the shoulder, I let it sink back a bit more until I feel that resistance again. Then I come forward a little bit further, holding for about 10 seconds. Slowly let it sink back. All right, try not to allow that shoulder to go up and over a little bit. So if you do need to reposition midway through, that's completely fine. All right, activation there. Holding for about 10 seconds, and then we allow it to go back even further. You might get a few clicks and a few clunks as you allow it to go all the way back. All right, once you get to the back position, I want you to just try and grab onto a little bit further back on the resistance band if you are using a resistance band. If it's the cable machine, that's fine, you shouldn't need to do anything. Grab a little bit further back just to give you a little bit more resistance when you reach your end range, where your maximum is, where it feels like your body won't actually be pulled into any further. From there, we're going to load the resistance band up so we can actually activate close to 80 to 100%. All right, somewhere around those top two numbers, so that we're really loading up those internal rotator tissues on the subscap, even into the lat and the pec. Anything that does internal rotation, we want those firing. So working into internal rotation, we're going to hold this for 30 seconds, anywhere up to about a minute. Once you start feeling quite a bit of fatigue onset, that's when you sort of will slowly relax the pressure off and let go of the band, and just slowly come back into a normal position before you relax back down. So that's one repetition of the PAILs for internal rotation at our end range of internal rotation.